like, you know, you're not even concerned with women's issues. And instead, you're basically choosing to focus on men's issues, like an MRA. Guess what? It's bad.
The fact is that men are noticing this, and they're saying, hey, I got this pressure on me, and I don't know if I like it. And then they're like, oh my God, they're a bunch of misogynists for noticing.
A quarter of men bleakly said that they believe no one would fall in love with them.
Is it possible that the men are right, and the average woman no longer thinks that the average man is an acceptable partner?
But remember, whenever men try to form a space, it gets broken up.
This is just like, it's just like, you know, you go and there's some, okay.
All right. Hello, we're live. We're figuring things out right now. I just got like, Allison
we have
is...
complexities upon complexities. Menus nested within menus. It is difficult.
Yeah, as is typical.
Yeah, as is typical. All right,
but Allison's trying to log into the X space, but she's got to log out of her account because I'm using it to host the X space. Yeah. But we are live. Merry Christmas, everyone, and welcome to the special Christmas stream. So if you want to talk to us, you can go. You have to have an X account. There is an X space that is currently live. I think I can get the link to it and put it in the description. This was something I meant to do and I kind of forgot to do. So let me do that really quick here. All I gotta do is copy the link and I'm gonna put it in the description of this video so that you guys can go there. If you have an X account, you have to have an X account. But why don't you? They're free. Why not? I mean, Elon Musk owns it. It's probably a safer online space than most. So I say go for it. And join us in the space. What was that?
It's free. I said it's free and the speech is free.
Yeah, it's free and the speech is relatively free.
Yeah, relatively.
Right, so okay. My content.
See if I can manage this.
All right. Yeah, Allison's trying to figure this out, so we will. But I did put the link to the space in the description. You'll have to do a quick refresh, and then you should be able to access the space. And then what you want to do... what?
Well, you know what? Finish off your thought.
Well, I'm just saying, once you join the space, then what you want to do, if you want to talk, is if you've never used X spaces before, and you can do this on your phone or on your PC, there should be a request to speak, and you sort of raise your hand, and we can see it in the chat, and then I'll basically give you guys permissions. I'm currently using the Honey Badger Radio X account to talk. So yeah, we're just waiting for Allison to get in here. So hello to Gin Bottle, Filler Bansky, Richard Bier, Gabriel, Phelan Lucas, and Murder of Crows. Also, Open Your Mind's Eye, Mind and Eye, and Gemini Lion. Hello, and Merry Christmas to you guys. Did you guys get everything that you were hoping to get? Did Santa Claus take care of you guys? No, nothing.
Well.
I got a gaming mouse, which I'm really happy with because it's like my mouse. Before it was, I didn't realize how bad it was until I plugged this one in. Like I was working with the other one, but it did occasionally, the clicks were like off, you know, like they wouldn't happen, or I couldn't tell they were happening, and it caused some issues. But this one is really, really clean. Although it came with something really weird. I got this hexagonal thing with metal, like, I don't know, just like a weird thing that came with it that I guess you put inside the mouse. I guess when the mouse wears down, you put something in it and it does something.
I think it's weights.
Weights?
It weighs. Yeah, people like the mouse to. You can adjust the weight of the mouse.
Oh, I see. All right, Allison's in here now, so I'm gonna make you into a speaker. Let's see, so invite to speak, and now accept the invite, and then you can talk in. You can talk in here. You'll have to do them both at the same time so that people can hear you when they talk. Now, what were you saying?
Well, what I was saying is, first of all, okay, so I need to request to speak.
Yeah, I saw you, and I'm also already
Well,
made
I have
you
it all muted on Twitter, so all I'm talking to you is through this now.
through Discord. Yeah.
Yeah, through Discord. So I don't know if the people in the Twitter space can hear, but nobody's in the Twitter space.
Nobody can hear you. So I'm gonna invite you as co-host. Just accept it for now because people don't usually jump in immediately. And I mean, we may not see anybody. It's possible, but in the past when I did this, I have had a few people jump on. I just don't know if everyone's doing Christmas things right now.
Yeah.
So, Philip Williams says, Merry Christmas to all. Hoping you all have a great new year. Unfortunately, can't stay and watch. Hopefully get to catch up with Badgers and company during lives again soon. Thank you. Murderer Crow says, I got a much anticipated and welcome visite. You mean visitor? Is that what you meant to say? Peter Houston says, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Peter Houston. Doesn't it feel good to just say that? Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Jim Bottle says, the good news is honey badgers are immune from scorpion poison. Simple symbolism. Okay. I don't know. Is Saturn in retrograde? Is that what we're talking about?
I don't think Saturn goes into retrograde.
I just said that. I don't know what that means.
I think that if my astronomical knowledge isn't failing me, does Saturn go into retrograde? I know I'm being totally autistic.
Jupiter rising.
Oh, it does.
Oh, okay. Right. There you go.
Saturn retrograde every year for about 4 to 5 months, appearing to move backwards from Earth due to the orbital mechanics. Okay, so I am full of shit. I wonder how much I'm full of shit. Is there any difference in retrograde motion between inner and outer planets? I want to be right on some level, you know. Yes, there's a differences in the apparent retrograde motion of inner and inferior and outer superior planets. Ooh, even astronomy is hierarchical, as observed from Earth, specifically in the mechanism, frequency, and duration. The key difference stems from their orbital speeds relative to Earth. Okay.
Yeah.
So feature occurs inferior conjunction when the planet is between the Earth and the Sun, occurs around the time of opposition when the Earth is between the planet and the Sun. Are difficult to observe during retrograde because they're close to the Sun. Frequency occurs more frequently, but for a shorter duration. So when Saturn is in retrograde, it's really in retrograde. It commits. Okay, fair enough. But so the inner planets are more frequent. The outer planets are in retrograde longer. This is trivia that I assume nobody thought they would get when they opened up this stream.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how we got onto that like first thing, but
well, we could since it's quiet and
yes.
I'm just okay, because it's quiet, we could talk about the things that we have been doing.
Okay, what are the things that we've been doing?
How did your Christmas go so far, Brian?
It's good. Like I said, I got a gaming mouse, and I went to Christ Mass this morning. That's what Christmas means. Christ Mass. It was church. But I didn't really want to, but I did anyway because I just wanted to sleep in, and Lindsay did too. But we went anyway, and we had Wife Saver. Have you guys ever heard of Wife Saver? WIFESAVER. Wife Saver. You ever had that? You ever heard of it? So,
no.
My mother-in-law makes Wife Saver. Used to make it for Lindsay when she was a kid all the time, and Lindsay wanted to make it this year, so she did. And since we were breaking a fast today's the day we can eat like a normal person, she made Wife Saver. And so what it is, it's basically like a casserole. You take like bread slices, a layer of bread slices on the bottom, and then on top of that you put ham, and then you put another layer of bread, and then you put like a bunch of eggs mixed with various vegetables like green onions and things like that. So it's sort of like a layer that is an omelet, and then on top of that, you put like you crush a bunch of cornflakes, you sprinkle it on top, and then you put it in the, and it doesn't sound good, but you put it in the refrigerator. We did it the night before. Cover it with saran wrap, put it in the fridge, and then when we got home, we put it in the oven. Put it in the oven for an hour, and it's essentially like a giant breakfast cake. It's a cake that's full of breakfast food, and it's delicious. Oh yeah, cheese. I forgot the cheese. Lots of cheese. A whole bunch of shredded cheddar. So yeah, it's definitely cheese on there. So it's like a ham, cheese, egg omelet with bread and some cornflakes. Lifesaver. It was good, but it was a lot. So we're gonna have steak later because again we're breaking a fast. We didn't have meat since I think it was like since before Thanksgiving. It was like the right after Halloween, so almost that long. So yeah, it was it's gonna be good. As far as gifts go, I also got a new mug for coffee, which I'm gonna need, and got some stuff for the house. Nothing major, tablecloth. You know, when you get older, like these things are not as exciting. Although somebody got me a game, and I want to give a shout out to Master Goa, I believe it is the guy who got it for me. He got me a Steam game. Castlevania. Let me look at the name again. Castlevania Lords of Shadow Ultimate Edition. So I'm gonna go ahead and install that while we're talking. Yeah. So that's been my Christmas. I'll talk to my mom and my dad like later today, I guess. After this is over. What about you?
Yeah. It reminds me I probably should call my dad. We haven't done anything that yet because we're going to be doing that in the afternoon.
Yeah. Jojo got a bunch of stuff too.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know it's Christmas. He just knows he's getting shit. So
Okay, I've got those things working, so I'm gonna quit here and I'll be hearing you in the
what are you gonna
Twitter space.
Alright, what thing's working? Are you okay, Allison just left. Alright, she's gonna talk to me in the Twitter space now, I guess. I thought she was gonna play. Yes, you're there. I can hear you.
Hello. Okay, there it works.
Yeah.
It's all streamlined.
You're slightly lower volume, but I think still fine.
Okay, well just give me a sec. I'll move this around. Is this better?
Yeah, let me just Are you gonna be playing Beat Saber 2? Or no?
I'll probably play Synth Riders. So you can probably silence the music because I'm not speaking through the
You're not speaking through Discord.
No, I'm not speaking through Discord. I'm just going to be in Discord displaying the game. Maybe for New Year's we can do the game that you were talking about, Repo.
Yeah. I think Repo will be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right, let me just make this a bit smaller.
Oh
Drop
God.
that.
The virtual space is all distorted.
The what?
Oh no, it's just I came into the virtual space under the floor, which was kind of sickening.
Oh. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. Go live on there too so that I can see
I will. I just want to make sure I'm getting something up first.
No problem. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. I'm going to try and engage with the chat more often. I've been doing that since the news show. So, let me see.
Otherwise, I'm just going to bitch about J.R.R. Martin's book or A Song of Ice and Fire. Yes.
Did he finally release a new one or are you just like watching his old stuff?
No. Okay. It's just that getting
that story's never going to be finished, guys. I hate to break it to you.
No, it's never going to be
He's going to die before it's over because he doesn't know what to do with it. And
all of you should have realized because there were some warning signs well before the man started to get into an advanced stage of procrastination. Dementia. No, I don't think he's got dementia. I think he's just a horrible.
It gets thrown around a lot.
Procrastination. So this one is Synth Riders. There's no ability, as far as I know, to do
requests. I could do maybe
They probably haven't
Christmas.
modded it yet. All right, so let me just
Yeah, but-
move the. Let me see. Where is the chat that we were just doing? I'm gonna move it on top of this.
Do it.
Do what?
Well,
What are you
search
talking
it.
about?
I'm trying to find Christmas songs. No tracks found, of course.
Oh, hey, somebody joined the chat.
Hello,
Edgar
somebody.
Green. Welcome to the Christmas stream, the Christmas special.
I was hoping to find like Christmas music. Music pack.
There's no. Are there mods for this? Have that? Because I don't know if you're not getting mods, you might not get any Christmas songs.
Yeah.
So
I need to turn the music down. I don't even know how to turn the volume down with this. Oh, right. What am I doing? Huh. Okay. Audio. Yeah, a little bit. Oh, no, we don't want that. Master volume. SX volume. Okay. No. Okay, so music is like at the minimum, and yet it's still horrifically loud.
I lowered it on my end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like inaudible.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing, Beats? No, not Beat Saber. Synth Wave.
Just
Could
get
you
it.
reduce your?
You should be able to do it in the options.
In the well, unfortunately, I'm actually really terrible with this interface.
Yeah.
I understand nothing.
Yeah.
Headset. Okay, how about the volume? It's a headset volume. Okay, audio output. Oh, thank God. I can hear myself think again. All right.
Okay.
Good Lord. This is a loud game. I guess he didn't find our... Well, he probably's just browsing, eh? Okay,
Maybe.
Let's see if we can find...
He's back.
You know what? Lindsay Sterling. Let's do Lindsay Sterling.
Sure. Do some Lindsay Sterling.
Sort of, Christmassy?
She can be.
Okay. So this is Shatter Me.
Okay.
Whew.
All right, can you guys hear everything okay? It looks like it. Yeah, everything should be fine. You're not gonna...
Okay.
Yeah, Allison's coming out of the Discord here, so...
Yeah, I'm not coming out of the Discord.
No, I know, but like in my setup, I have an audio output source that I call Discord, but it's basically like browser or whatever I'm using to chat. So.
Jesus, good Lord. My dog just sounded like a human being.
Okay, so let me see what you guys are saying in chat. Well, I'm trying to engage with the chat. Yeah, he does sometimes. He makes howly noises that sound like, like he's saying woohoo.
Yeah, I think my dog said no at one point.
Like an Australian person disagreeing.
Yeah.
No.
No.
That's how Australian people say no. No. Okay, so let me see. That's Tickety Boo says, who's a random person from your past you will never forget? Random person? I don't know, man. I have a lot of people that I won't forget. Like my old bosses. Those are a couple. One guy I worked with when I had a job at a paint store. He was 50s. He was a 50-year-old guy. Huh?
No, sorry. I'm talking because okay, so we have a German Shepherd who has decided to... Okay, fuck, I can't do this. Sorry, I have to think. We have a German Shepherd who has decided to lick a hole in his front leg, and we have had to put like a...
Yes.
He's just not... It's a complicated story.
And you're not going to be able to tell it while playing this game, so...
No, I'm not going to be able to tell it while playing this game. I apologize, everyone,
for
starting something I couldn't finish. He's very sensitive. We have to put a muzzle on him, He's sensitive about the muzzle. Well, no, he's not sensitive, but he's actually been very good about the muzzle.
Why don't you give him a cone?
We don't have a cone and we're in the middle of nowhere, Brian.
Yeah. Yeah, well, my first, well, not my first pup, but the dog I had before Jojo, her name was Leslie. She, when I first got her, she was like 6.5 years old when I got her from the shelter. So it was already like pretty much an older dog. And she had this really like nervous habit. She basically was a stressed case because no, she couldn't stay anywhere because like everywhere she went, they would like send her back to the shelter, and it was a no-kill shelter, fortunately. But the people there were like, yeah, we're not gonna be like. She's basically like living in and out of shelters, so she's like a nervous wreck. And she would lick this part of her paw raw to where like the fur would come off, and she would have like a spot that was almost like bloodied, right? Like she wasn't breaking the skin per se, but it was like really thin there, so you'd get like it was like a soft spot. They used to call that a hot spot dogs would get, and it was like their way. They're basically stressed. So I had to basically like just stick it out with her and keep her chill and like make sure that she knew that I was not going to abandon her, because I think that's where it came from. She thought she's not going to stay here long. She's going to end up back in the shelter or something. And even though she had problems with dog aggression, like that was the reason why she kept coming back, was because she would like, go after other dogs. I just kept her, indoors, and I slowly socialized her so where she was able to hang out with some dogs, like my brother's. When I lived in Chicago, my brother had a Chihuahua named Prince, and Leslie was a dog about the size of Jojo. She was like 70 pounds, kind of like part pit bull, part lab or something. Like she was part hound, like she was a mutt. And I would get them to hang out with each other, and they were fine. And that soft spot, that spot that she would lick, it disappeared after I had her for about a year. So he might just be going through a stressful period for some reason. And you just work, keep him reassured, and I'm sure that he'll stop doing that.
Well, he is, because what's happened, and I think it might be multiple things, is Jonathan got a really bad case of shingles.
Yeah.
You know what that? Yeah.
It's not fun.
No, have you had them?
No. No, I mean, not that I know of. I don't think so, no.
Well, they're just basically, what happens is your nerve endings have chicken pox.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same, like the same virus that is chicken pox, basically, and hides out in your nerve endings. And it just is sort of a resurgence of that. And Jonathan got that, and he's been wiped out for weeks now. So Scipio has had far less stimulation. And I think he injured his leg. And there was this little patch of like, you know how dogs, when they get an injury, sometimes they get like a little patch of pigmented skin. And he'd been licking at it and licking at it.
Yeah.
And I was trying to stop him to do that. And then he redirected to another part of his skin and licked a hole in the fur. So I've had to like wrap his leg, put on a muzzle, and thankfully doesn't seem very stressed by the muzzle.
Yeah.
But and we don't have a cone. I had to make a cone out of two toilet paper, not toilet paper, two towels rolled together, which isn't really ideal.
No.
At all.
No. You could probably just get something online and have it sent. I did get one for Leslie when I first brought her home. They gave me a cone at the shelter, but I stopped using it after a while because it was like, I didn't need it. Like she basically, like once she became comfortable and she thought, oh, I'm gonna live here now, then she was good.
I wonder if we should maybe go back to the call-in server, since this is really slow.
We could do that too, I guess, but like, the thing is, like, I think that we have to like keep at it to use this.
Okay.
Because more people are just on X, right? But like we're doing it on Christmas Day for one, so people are probably taking a break from the internet, and I don't blame them. But like you just do this regularly enough, and you'll see more traffic. I think the problem with the Discord server is it's very corralled. Like only people who have Discord are going to be able to access it. and then within that is a subset of people who are interested in coming on our show, and then within that is a subset of people who are actually able to make the time to come on our show, and then there's within a subset of that, there's only the people who actually have something to say. And I don't have a problem with the Discord thing, but the problem is that we have like every time I do it, it's like the same, like half a dozen people. Yeah, because they're the only ones that want to do it. I think that if you do it this way, you're opening it up to anyone, and that means, people who hate us. I mean, I'd rather have that than the same guys coming on saying, "So what are you guys doing?"
Yeah.
So,
Well,
and if Edgar wants to say anything, all he has to do is raise his hand. I'm watching. I think there's a way to request, to speak if you want to speak. If you just want to listen, that's okay. Anyway, let's see what. We'll just talk to the chat. And look, we've only been live for about like just under half an hour, so we may not get anyone.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a guy, Carl T. Boylan, just joined. And if you want to talk, Carl, feel free to raise your hand or request to speak, and I'll give you. Oh yeah, I do have a request here. Who is it? Approve. Okay. There you go, Carl. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? See, look, Allison, people are jumping in.
Yeah, I just did a message through Discord. That might be why. It might also be that it's finally propagated through Twitter.
Yeah. Okay, Carl, you have the floor. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, my friend. How the devil are you? What a bunch of retrobates you've managed to gather so far.
Retrobates. Is that an occult reference to the astronomy debate we had earlier?
No, I don't know if you saw that.
No, I wasn't here for that.
Well, we were talking about the inner and outer planets in retrograde. So retrobates.
No, I think retrobate is like saying that we're cads. Right? Cads and bounders.
Okay.
Yes.
This is new lingo for me.
Oh no, it's actually very old lingo.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, then I must really be out of the loop.
So Carl, what's up? Did you want to say anything? I have like somebody else requesting too.
No, I just hope you're all having a wonderful day. I hope your loved ones are around you, you're enjoying yourselves, and you've not got too merry. Yes.
Yeah. Oh no, not too merry. No. No plans on getting overly merry. Just merry enough.
I never get merry. I only get angry.
So, actually, Carl, you host like an X Spaces basically every morning, right? It's like, well, at least it's morning for me. I don't know if it's like later for you. And you get like a decent number of people, but it takes a little time to get an X Space going, doesn't it?
It does indeed, yeah. As you know, I used to co-host along with a gentleman called Bill Corbett.
Oh yeah,
regularly.
Coffee with Bill. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and let's just say we came to an impasse, and I've moved on since to doing my own little spaces, which are generally called campfires, and the idea is just to get people to chat about anything, which normally gets around to male rights at some stages. Obviously it would
in some way. Yeah, is that because you bring that with you, like it's what you're known for, so the people you surround yourself with are already interested in that topic?
I think to some extent yes, but I try to encourage open debate, truthful and honest debate, and a very varied debate. We get on multiple subjects, sometimes of which I know absolutely nothing about, and I'm getting educated by the other people that come into my spaces.
Okay. Whoops, did we just lose him?
No, he's just done talking. Do you know what that's like, Allison? They finish a sentence and then they're done. It's crazy.
The flow only mildly decreases. It never completely stops.
All right, I'm gonna let Edgar wants to talk, so I'm gonna give him the floor now. You can feel free to stick around, Carl. All right, Edgar, you can talk now. What's up? Merry Christmas. Let me see if he can get his audio working. Sometimes you gotta give it a second.
Hi, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. What's
Sorry for the
up?
background noise. Just wanted to say Merry Christmas. I keep up with you guys' streams pretty regularly.
Do you?
Oh, thank
Do
you.
you do you watch them on YouTube, X, or Rumble?
YouTube usually on replay.
Okay, so like after
I
we've
work
done
a lot,
them.
so
Yeah.
yep. I usually catch them the next morning. My wake up.
Oh, well, that's
Okay.
great.
Yeah, that's cool. So what's how's your Christmas been so far?
Excellent. Got up early to play Santa. And
Oh, we got up early to
enjoying
play
time with
Santa.
family.
Cool. And how many do you have little ones then?
Just the one.
Just the one? And what did Santa have for that person?
Oh, she got a stuffed tiger and a bunch of stuff in her stockings and stuff like that. She
Yeah.
was very happy. She wanted the stuffed tiger very bad.
Mm. What do you think about this idea that a lot of people criticize Christmas as just kind of like this consumerist holiday that's just an excuse to buy junk? What do you think about that? Do you have an opinion on that? That kind of like, I don't know, statement?
It can be. I think it goes into how people approach it and what their intent is. Like we had a bunch of discussions on, the meaning, the story, and the purpose of the gifts, and where the tradition came from, and
Yeah.
some of our gifts end up being religiously themed and whatnot between each other. And I think that if you go into it as this is about getting stuff and not about the love and that you're sharing between your family, then you might end up that way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely it's a mindset. Definitely companies are going to take advantage of the holidays to sell stuff, but at the end of the day, you decide like if you're gonna, it's your call, right?
Yeah.
What?
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
just said, yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. All right. Well, Edgar, you feel free to hang out if you want, and Merry Christmas. Does anyone else? I see a couple of other people here. Horror Cocktail and Be Real, Truth of or Objective. Welcome and Merry Christmas. If you want to speak, just give us a shout out. Meanwhile, I'm going to look at what the chat is saying. I did get a super chow that I should read.
Cool.
So, a Void Cat gave us $10 and says, "Have a very meowy Christmas." Well, thank you, Void Cat. I had no idea that Void Cat knew how to use a credit card, I guess, to put in a super chow. So I guess, Allison, you or Jonathan got to check your accounts and see if Void Cat has found access.
Has hacked it.
Yeah, it's hacked. If you've been hacked by the Black Cat. Anyway, Black Cat that steals. Not at all shocking. Murder of Crows. What? Sorry. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, great. Okay.
Murder of Crows says salt the steak an hour beforehand as it's resting and warming on the counter. You talking about the steak that we're having? Oh no, we did it yesterday. Lindsay knows how to do this. Then we got a whole rib roast. It's gonna be amazeballs. I haven't had steak since technically we had one on our anniversary, which was last week. We did cheat that day because it was our anniversary, but that was not much. It was like a little strip. So, okay. Peter Houston says, "I can hear you and Allison talk. There's no dog or music sound." Yeah, Allison asked me to turn the music down. That's why. And
Well,
what?
because I probably because oh, God damn it, I referenced.
You lowered it?
Yeah. No, I mean I referenced the dog talking. He had like an extended series of syllables that he was like howling out. Not howling, but the whale song that really vocal dogs do.
Yeah, I know it.
I don't know if Jojo is like a really vocal dog.
He is very vocal. Jojo is both. He lets you know he's around. Let's see. There was somebody else who said something interesting. Night Motorcyclist. said something, is I actually really like relate to this. He said, ever since my mom passed, the family splintered. You know, it's interesting that my family, when I was growing up, was very tight knit. Like and it wasn't just like me and my mom and my father and my brothers. It was like everybody. Like I had uncles and I had aunts and I had my grandma on both sides and I had my cousins. And we would go to barbecues and everything. And the person who held everyone together, and I can bring this to men's rights if you guys want, but the person who held everything together was my grandmother on my father's side, who was this Puerto Rican lady, you know, in her 60s, literally had one leg. She would hop around the kitchen cooking. She had one leg, okay? It's okay to laugh. It's funny. She had one leg and she would organize every single family event. She memorized everyone's birthdays, everyone's births, everyone's anniversaries, every holiday, Easter, Christmas, you know, and summer barbecues. And she would put together big bashes for the family, the extended family, and even friends of the family. Like if there were, you know, people that have known each other for a long, long time, they would be considered part of the family as well. Like I remember when I was very young, my mom went to a babysitter who was a friend of my aunt's, and she would watch me when I was like 4 years old. And that woman was so like involved that she was going to all the parties too. And then when my grandmother passed away, and I don't know what it was of, because I was pretty young. I was probably like 14, 15 years old. And when my grandmother passed away, the family like could not keep it together. My uncle tried to like continue this tradition that my grandma had, but it just fell apart, and everyone sort of like, you know, became atomized over time. And now I don't know what half of the people in my family are up to. And it's like the problems of what's happening now. It's like a microcosm of what's happening now. Like people are not connected to their family or their ancestors or whatever. And it doesn't matter what the culture is. It's just sort of like disintegrating. And I think my grandma was definitely not a modern woman. Like she was not like a feminist woman, right? She was, but she was tough. Like both of my grandmothers on both sides, they were, you know, roughing it. Like in Puerto Rico, most people are pretty poor, and they would, you know, they had chickens and they grew their own food and all that. So they were like still kind of living I don't know, like a farmer's life, I guess. But when my grandma came to the city, she made it like a point to like try to do that. So I think it's interesting that you said that, because I think of my grandma when I think about like what happened with my family. And it's not terrible. Like I still can, like I talk to my mom and stuff, you know, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, it's
Anyway.
like one of the things that women just stopped doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people are sort of poorer for it, but
exactly.
They will say something like, nobody appreciated. Well, you're the ones who stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Right? Like the appreciation is in seeing what you've created become, you know, like brought together.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you didn't appreciate that, so you sacrificed it for a cubicle job.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I see a lot of that on X, but I don't know if you guys noticed that, like whoever's listening in here, I have been looking through X every morning, or whenever I get a chance, I'll scroll through X randomly, and I'll look for like misandrous posts, of which there are many. There's a lot of anti-male posts on X. And but what I'll do is I'll look to see the post, and then I'll go to that person's page. And ever since Elon Musk has basically made it to where you can look at where the posts are coming from, I see a majority, not totality, but a majority of those posts are coming from women not from the West at all. They're like in Nigeria is, for some reason, a lot of Nigerian women, the Middle East of some kind, like in a obscure way, the United Arab Emirates, Israel. They're always like somewhere like not America. East Asia, South Asia, India. A lot of Indian women are saying some really like anti-male stuff. Yeah, I think it's like a majority India and Africa.
But these places also have some virulent.
Yes, I know, but they're if you're an
Pretending to be
American,
American,
and you
or-
see it, they're kind of pretending to be American. They're not, because like the thing is, there's some posts that you'll see like on the front page of the profile, it'll say something about like it'll have like a place in America in their name, like New York or something, or they'll have like the location icon, that arrow thing, and it'll be like it'll be like New York City or LA, but then you click on their location and it's like India or Israel, and the photo will be like a cartoon drawing of a woman or like a white woman or something. So I think there's a degree of deception going on. Like there's a
Yeah.
And they're all
degree
writing
of
in English.
scheming going on. What was that, Edgar?
And they're all writing in English.
Yeah, and they're all writing in English with American slang. Like they're like, that exactly. Carl, go ahead. Do I have to like give you permission again?
No, it's
No, you
okay
should
if
be
you
good.
don't want to
Okay.
do that. Paid subversives.
Maybe.
So-
Although I seem to find the homegrown ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's plenty of homegrown ones, but I think, given the type of organisation that we are talking about, that a lot of them claim to be a member of or claim to be part of, which they don't generally speaking understand anyway and know sod all about, they're more likely to be paid subversives if the description of where they are is entirely different to where they in fact are.
Yeah, this
Just
is true.
Seems logical to me.
Yep.
These are all places where you could get the cheap labor to do that. Where
That's
you could
true.
create farms of people doing this stuff.
I think the Israeli ones are probably legit. Oh, good lord! I just talked once. God damn it.
Yeah,
failed
and some
my
of them,
level.
look, some of them are not like I said, it's just remembering that these people they could be from anywhere, and I think as Westerners, we might see it written in perfect English and think that's an American because it's in English and I'm getting it in my feed, but then you look and they're like, oh no, that person is in. Like I just saw one now that said, first point of 4B is no sex with men. This male implied that 4B would cease to exist if men so wished. So males will resort to coercion and rape because they were responding to somebody who said, friendly reminder that the so-called 4B movement only exists because men allow it to exist and would cease to exist if men so wished. Which, I mean, I don't think that's an untrue claim. But when I clicked on that person, they are from South Korea, or at least
Well,
so
the issue
yeah,
is
East
that-
Asia and Pacific. So like that, yeah. So probably
that
that's.
calls out.
Hmm?
Yeah. Oh, I was treating the content seriously. Go ahead.
What do you mean?
Well, it calls out the feminist framing, which is men have control over everything. Well then,
Yeah.
if you accept that, then the reason why the 4B movement functions is because men have chosen to allow it to by not using the principal tool of the patriarchy that feminists say men use in order to uphold society, which is rape.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
what about our
literally-
collective? What about our
literally-
collective membership card, Alison? Can't we use that?
My patriarchy card has no
Yeah, but
limit.
that's the thing. The feminists propose that the functional tool of patriarchy is rape. That's how men uphold the system that benefits them at the expense of women. And yet here we have all of these sex strikes indicating like a rebellion against the world order, and patriarchy just sits there like Oculus on his throne. We wait.
So when they give us that explanation, Alison, what's their explanation for forced penetration?
What? Surprise sex that he didn't know he wanted?
Yeah.
This is why I love those stats. It's like they love to argue that domestic violence that women engage in is defensive, but it's really hard to argue defensive rape.
Yeah.
So they have very few arguments. That's why they hate them so much. I love how
it's pretty difficult to have a defense for, well, I was abused for years, and when my husband invited me round with the rest of the family for a meal, I just went to the hardware store and bought a hammer and put it in my handbag and repeatedly struck him on the back of the head with my handbag. Yeah, that's a hard one to get away with as well.
Pretty sure they have though.
You know what else is weird? Not only is it weird that we get, like, on X at least, so we're just talking about X, because X is the only place where I can look up a location. Another thing that's weird is the number of women who make, like, really misandrist, anti-male posts, and then in their replies, because they're using it as rage bait, I guess, they put their OnlyFans link.
Oh god.
They link to their
Man.
OnlyFans right underneath their anti-male tirade. Like this person named Jinx said on X, "Stop asking me for relationship advice. If it was up to me, all these men would be locked in my basement eating milk off a fork." So essentially, like, just like it's straight up. And then underneath that,
Astoundingly specific.
yeah, it is. And
Hey,
then underneath
listen,
that,
you
it's like,
guys are in the
by the
media
way, here's my
industry.
OnlyFans. You want
You,
if you
you guys are in the media industry, you should understand that any exposure is good exposure.
yeah, there is no bad press, right?
You know, I just can't believe men would, well, maybe
Stoop that low.
that, yeah, well, would sign on to an OnlyFans. Of
There are
somebody who
definitely
does
men
something
that
like
would, but the thing is,
Yeah.
well, a lot of that is also like not Western guys, but again we don't know that, like we just go with okay, not wanting to date trans women is transphobia.
Don't assume the effectiveness of that marketing strategy. It's probably non-zero, but not necessarily as effective as other avenues.
Yeah, right. I think that maybe I'm wrong, but I think that the women who are probably do best with OnlyFans are at least the ones who pretend to like men. But I don't know.
I think there's a large market of men that like to be disliked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Stacey Carlton says most of the countries he named have active extreme feminist groups anyways, plus the languages they teach tend to include English. When you consider how popular American culture is there, it actually makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it's probably a combination of people who are rage baiting in order to get engagement funds and genuine articles, especially when you're talking about India. Holy.
Mm-hmm.
People in Nigeria are probably just more likely to be after the funds, I think.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if feminism is quite as strong, but I could be corrected. Maybe
Well, you know,
Tifa
this
will
thing where
correct me.
they've been paying people on X for, like, basically getting enough engagement on their posts, I think it invites this stuff, this rage bait, because it's a good way to go viral, to say something. So if it is
Yeah,
rage
exactly.
bait, at the very least, there's an acknowledgement that this is something that if you said it, it would get a negative reaction. So, because I think if people were indifferent to misandry online, then it wouldn't be something that could make you some money as someone who's engaging in I guess, rage bait. So, I don't know.
To your point about it spreading to Nigeria or anywhere else, there are certain cancers that once they start spreading, they never stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Let's see what the chat is saying here.
Speaking of morality, the Honey Badger Radio Touch of Gold, your good luck Chuck of people you've had on as guests,
Yeah.
seems to be sparking with the Collins.
Seems to what?
Sparking, sorry?
With the Collins, they're
Yeah.
going somewhat viral.
What?
Oh,
what?
you mean the Collins? The
Malcolm and
Uh,
Simone.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Which ones? What? Wait, I missed
Malcolm
it.
and Simone. Malcolm and Simone.
Oh yeah, Malcolm
Going
and Simone went
viral.
viral.
Yeah, of
Yes, I saw that. I actually,
Yeah, I think-
they were. I mean, I don't know if they're really big, but they were decent size when I found them. And I'm actually going to talk to them again in January. We're going to have them back on because they made a video saying the men's rights movement was right, and and I knew that we
Yeah.
were. but they acknowledged it, and because they're like their primary focus is pronatalism, right? But they're also interested, like they're really nerdy. Like these are really nerdy people, but I like them. But yeah, they went viral for different reasons. So, which I think are pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I remember you predicted it on the actual show or during the after show. You're like, yeah, well, enjoy being launched into the stratosphere now, or something like that. After the show, I think it was in the after show.
Yeah.
And yes, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, you ever played a video game where it's like 2-player co-op, right? And there are sections where, or maybe there's like a player and an NPC that you're escorting, and there are sections where you need to get up to like a high place or across something, and you have to like assist the other player to go to this other area. That's what we do only. We just are the person that gives you a boost. You know, we're Chris at the bottom and Sheva is everybody who comes on our show, and you give them a boost up. That's, I don't know if you recognize the reference, but basically it's multiple, you know, video games have that mechanic, and that's what we do. We give you the boost. We throw you over the gap, you know. We build the bridge and then you go across it.
Yeah.
I guess it's something.
People probably don't remember this, but we had Shu on. I think this was prior to you.
Oh yeah,
Brian.
Yeah. No, I was around. No, I was around for Shu. I was around for Shu and Sargon.
She was under, I think, 20,000 at that point.
She was like at under. I think she was at under 20,000 for sure.
Well, I know that she was under Karen at that point.
Yeah.
And Karen probably was around 100,000 or so. And Sargon came on at like 20,000.
Yeah, Sargon on. We used to have Blair White on all the time. Blair White was on all the time, and she was a regular. Like we were, you know, we would just do shows with her. And now Blair White hangs out with Roseanne Barr and shit. Like, and that's cool, you know, but like I said, you know, it's just, I guess we all have our part to play.
Yep. And we had Jordan Peterson on.
Jordan Peterson, but he was starting to blow up at that. It was after the free speech thing at that college campus, but it was still.
But he got even higher.
Yeah.
So I don't think that we necessarily boosted him, but
we also there was a number of people. Definitely a thing that happens, so.
As long as you're not into men's issues primarily, we'll give you a huge boost.
Yeah.
If you are, you're gonna be with us. You know, sitting on the beach, watching everyone else surf, basically.
HBR, check your direct messages.
Are you sending? Did you send one? Oh, I'll have to like open it up over here. Hold on.
Yeah, okay.
Hold on. Oh, I need a passcode, Allison. I can't look at it.
Oh, good Lord.
For some reason, it's telling me I can't. You protected the shit out of it.
Corrected those. No, I didn't. It demanded I do. I think this one will work.
All right, let me look. It's in Discord.
Yeah, just don't read it out loud.
I'm kidding.
I think that might work.
Nope, that didn't work.
What the hell? Okay, oh wait. That one.
Okay, yeah, that worked.
Yeah.
All right. I go to the bottom here. Had to make it funny. Is this what you sent? Oh. Yes. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna say it on stream, but yes, you're right. I see that we have another person that joined us, Brian, Botch TV. Welcome and Merry Christmas. All right, let's see. Who's this?
Oh, if you guys want to send us a message, feedthebadger.com/justthetip. I guess I'll poke the voles and see what comes out.
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
I do apologize. I couldn't help myself. I have a terrible sense of humor.
That's all right.
I didn't even get to see it.
It's
So
still
I'm
there.
unaffected. Okay, well, I guess I'll see it afterwards. All
Did you
right.
use AI to make that?
Hello, I have something
Hello?
important to.
Oh yeah, never mind. Sorry.
What we talking about? AI to make what?
Oh, I never mind. That's old. There was another private message from the 16th, but I got the later one. It was like some guy talking. All right. So no sweat.
Yeah.
Let me just go back to. Well, I'll just leave that open. That's fine. All right. So let's see what else you guys are saying here. So, Stacy Carlton said 4B started in Korea. Yes, we know. And the comment, I believe it doesn't say Korea. It says like East Asia, but I assume that's Korea because I know the 4B movement's from Korea. Although it's just what they call it. I mean, it's basically just another feminist movement. It's just catered to that particular culture, but it's actually not that different from feminist movements anywhere else because they all have the same criticisms or like claims at least. So the 4B movement isn't, I don't like, they say it's like really radical, but I think it's just typical. Maybe it's radical to the Korean culture. Like they see it that way, maybe, but I don't know. I hear the dog. All right. Anyone requesting to speak?
Stop.
Raise your hand or let me know. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let's see. Stacey Carlton, most of the countries he named have active extreme feminist groups anyways, plus the languages they teach tend to include English, and when you consider how popular American culture is, this basically makes sense. Yeah, but I think that there is another way to look at it too, though. It's possible that if you see feminism as not just like something that's isolated to certain countries or certain cultures or languages, but rather a global project, then, and that's how I think it is, then it's actually pretty easy to see that why wouldn't they collude with each other to like basically try to spread the same message everywhere at the same time? And then they just use whatever language works. So like because like I think China, for example, and there are some people who show up as being in China that also make misandrous posts, but countries like China have their own version of X, right? Or I think Russia has a version, like certain countries might have their own social media that is sort of like separate from our social media, and they probably speak their own language, or there are just parts of social media that are that language. Like there's probably a Japanese part of X where everyone's writing in Japanese, just like YouTube. But I think that, like, I remember I watched a documentary a couple years ago, and it was on a streaming site. I don't remember which one. It was either Amazon or Netflix. And it was essentially talking about the new wave of feminism, that like the upcoming wave of feminism. And it was basically a global project. It was we're going to bring women, feminists of all nations together. So like, I could see them doing that because it is a globalist thing. And if that's the case, then perhaps there are social media sites or other sort of internet spots that are where they're doing the exact same thing in those languages, and they're targeting those men in those parts of the world, and they're spreading that propaganda over there as well, so that it looks like man hatred is, or at least like, I guess framing men as criminal is sort of like so ubiquitous that a woman couldn't possibly ignore it because all the women are saying it. And I think that's what it's designed to do. So it might just be an ad for the OnlyFans to come get whooped by Sumara. Sure, yeah. Well, I think that women who say like anti-male shit and then like post their OnlyFans, they're probably not part of a plot. They're probably just using, marketing techniques. Let's see. Stacy Carlton says, "Oh no, Nigerians especially probably tie with Indians when it comes to that particular extreme." Yeah, I thought Nigeria was a relatively Christian country, but maybe I'm thinking about the wrong one. Could be Ethiopia. Murder of Crows says, "A fine 2-player co-op about a divorced couple is It Takes Two. Very fun." Another one that's about to come out in February is Reanimal. Yeah, I played It Takes Two. They're not divorced, but they're planning on getting divorced. But I think by the end of the game, they get back together. So it's pretty sweet.
Technically, Britain is a Christian country as well, where the head of the church is the king.
For now.
But we've seen where that ends.
Yeah, right. Night Motorcyclist says, "Iran is becoming progressive among the populace, which is why they have constant riots." Iran used to be pretty, modern, right? Pretty, am I remembering that right? Or am I thinking about a different country? I think it was Iran in, the 60s. Looked like, any Western country. Or modern Israel, basically. Let's see. Does anybody else have anything to say? Allison, what are you doing? You're not playing the game? She just
Oh, okay. You want me to play?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we're doing the show. I feel like I'm the only one here.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I was supposed to interrupt you. You were just earlier. You're like, yeah, you never shut up.
I got a request.
You
Rooster.
got a request.
Rooster, go ahead. What? Merry Christmas. What's up? What's on your mind? What's your take? I gave you permission. You should be good to talk now.
Sometimes it's delayed, sadly.
Yeah, it might depend on your ping. Let's see.
Well, I can go back and do more synthwave, but
Oh well, he left. Oh no, he's there. You can speak. You have to unmute. I don't know if you ever used this before, but you should be able to talk, Rooster.
This is sort of a nice background, though. It's very appropriate to the layout.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to put the Christmas themed background up.
Better call Cameron. Esteban's Burger.
Are you on? Oh yeah, let's do it. He's requesting again. All right, you've been approved. Approved. Go ahead.
Okay.
Can you have your audio working? Your microphone settings? You might. Yeah.
No. There we go. No, Twitter just hated my life.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Merry Christmas, you guys. How y'all doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'll do Melancholy Hill by Gorillaz.
Okay. Do you have any? What's up?
Yeah, I was just fixing to ask you. Could you revisit the last couple of sentences you finished up with there? Because I did have something, and all that technical shit went away, and so the thought kind of got fluttered.
All right, I forgot what I was talking about. We were talking about Iran. Was it about that?
Yeah, you were correct. Yeah. When you said the Iran in the 70s, it was fantastic. The chicks were hot. Everything had color to it. They had smiles on their faces. They drove really cool cars. And it was great. And then I believe it was the Ayatollah overthrew the Shah because Jimmy Carter said, "Fuck it, we ain't gonna help." And then that was the end of all the cool shit.
Yeah. So I guess Iran is seeing a resurgence of that. So some people there haven't forgotten. That's what somebody in the live chat said, and I was just remarking on that. But are you familiar with our content?
I know Honey Badger. I follow that, and I enjoy that content quite a bit.
Oh, the post that Allison makes, her arguments with feminists online.
Yeah, well, always amusing to make their heads pop.
Yeah.
You do trigger a lot of anger.
Well, This is how you gotta get shit done. That's what
Yeah.
it takes.
Well, you know, it's good. It's good for them because Bonhoeffer said that they have to feel that moment to have clarity, right? Because that's willful blindness. It's not a lack of intelligence. You know, they can obviously read and digest things and understand them. It's a lack of moral clarity on even how to look at the situation. So they got to
Yep.
feel it. You got to piss them off a little bit and make them feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little bit of a sadist. I do enjoy that triggering the cognitive dissonance.
Do you think that it's a good use of your time, or do you think it's a waste of time?
Well, it satisfies me, so it's a good use.
Yeah.
Brian,
Well, no,
the thing about it is that often it's not for the person that you're responding to. It's to highlight it to those that are reading the thread.
Yeah.
When you humiliate people for their beliefs, the normal people take note of that, because it really is humiliation that drives people's behavior in many cases.
Yeah.
So they'll say, you know what, I'm not going to even attempt to make these arguments, and then they have to resolve the cognitive dissonance, so they start just figuring it out for themselves. I mean, Bering was right to a degree.
Hannah's tends to go until the person breaks internally.
Yeah, she's great.
well, yeah,
Like
no,
a-
that's a very good thing. People think a psychotic break is a bad thing, but it's literally a prerequisite to having clarity and understanding and healing. You have to have that moment in order to move past it. So get them there as quick as you can.
Yeah. I don't think I have Hannah's patience. So I just get them to argue with Grok.
I tend to just flip to holding a mirror straight up to them, and they find that very annoying.
Yeah. Oh, wow, this was not too difficult. There you go. So that was, although you guys couldn't hear it, because
I heard
Brian
it.
has turned off.
It was very low.
Yeah,
it's
well,
very
you
low.
turned it off the sound so that we don't get hit by the copyright, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. Oh, you did. Okay, so they can't. The audience can't hear it unless you can pipe it through X. But otherwise,
No, it doesn't pipe through X.
No, we could do feel good. Or I'm trying to think if there's anything Christmassy.
Let's see what else you guys are saying. Do you guys have any I don't know, any thoughts on, like, do you watch our videos at all, or do you just like see Allison's stuff on X?
I didn't. I was unaware of your video content, bro.
Oh yeah.
All of my social media is X, and then I do YouTube.
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
Yep.
Our streams are long, but yeah, we're on YouTube.
They're on YouTube, and I'm also the shorts. If you ever watch the shorts that go through Twitter, they are from the streams that we do.
Yeah.
Where I go through and destroy arguments at length.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, well, I just followed your YouTube. Fuck, I was unaware. My apologies.
No, don't apologize. Appreciate it. Thank you. This is an opportunity
No,
to
yeah,
get
I
people
would
to
have
check
been
that
glad.
out.
Yeah, I'd have been glad.
Brian-
I like that content.
Brian also
Some
does
of them
this-
are long chicken, but they're worth it because Alison does have a habit of destroying some of the arguments in great detail.
and getting really pissed.
Yeah.
And finding the
Shouty.
most cringy
Shouty.
to follow between Rainbow and all of them. They destroy them well, but you do have a degree of listening to some of the worst takes possible.
Oh yeah.
It's the-
You talking about Rainbow Shite?
Yeah, but here's the thing. People constantly have this argument that there exists some kind of academic feminism that isn't oh fuck. My left hand screwed up because I hit it on the controller. Anyway, they have this idea that there is some kind of academic feminism that's somehow not stupid. It's like, no, the logic that the lay feminist is bringing to her arguments is indistinguishable from the logic of academic feminism, which is just as stupid and lacking in any kind of academic rigor. Like literally, feminism is the deranged lunatic ramblings of Tumblr misandrists with a academic patina. Sorry, hard to talk while doing this.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the stream that me and Brian are doing on YouTube, you'll see what I'm actually doing while I'm talking here.
Yeah.
I just failed again.
If I do that, it'll kick me out of Spaces because X hates my life. But I'm enjoying
Don't
you
worry
guys.
about it.
And
You're not missing that
the
much.
left hand thing. I'm sure it'll start working eventually.
No, it's working. I'm actually able to do my level. Essentially, it's like a form of VR aerobics, but to a beat with targets. And when I talk, I screw myself up.
Yeah, as a dude, I don't know jack shit about aerobics. I'm more of a strength guy, like person.
It's a beat. Like what is it called? A rhythm game.
Yeah, it's a rhythm VR game that she's playing. Okay. So let's see what you guys are saying in the live chat over here. Butterscotch Wolf says, I'm still here, by the way. I'm just busy playing Pokemon Legends. Murder of Crows says it's low. The combo is up top. The whole soundscape is just fine as is. Jim Bottle says, I like Allison's passion. Karen is undisguisedly bored these days. I think she said everything that she needed to say, so
yeah.
And I think that Karen is like getting to the point where she's like repeating herself, and I understand why that gets exhausting. But the problem is of course the arguments are not evolving. Like they're making the same ones, and people are buying into it. And I know that what it comes down to is what feminists are making arguments for are not things that are true, but they are things that they really, 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 really want to be true. So they're just going to keep believing it and trying to will it into being or manifest it or whatever, right? And unfortunately, that's just feminine thinking, but that is what they do. So, and that's why we have to wrestle with the fucking snuffleupagus.
Don't even know what I did wrong there.
So, let's see. What else you guys are saying?
I think our arguments are evolving, even if the feminist arguments aren't.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I definitely think we're getting better at elucidating reality. I think we used to just assume that these things were so self-evident that we were baffled by how they perceive them. But I think we've come to a point now where we talk about them a lot more clearly now that they can't poke holes in that, which is why their head is shorting the way it does so quickly.
Mm-hmm. And it's also, again, they're also engaging in more and more overt movement.
Yeah.
I'm guessing I'm hitting something.
Dude, I got to thinking, was there ever a positive to feminism?
No.
And I thought about it. No, listen, I get it. No outward positive. But okay. So if you've ever done any lifting, you understand a negative resistance training and how that builds and grows your muscle as well. And so I actually started to think about it like, well, what is the negative resistance training of feminism? And you know what it is we always had the misconception that women were better nurturers for the family, better at taking care of the children and all of these things. What feminism actually did was it gave us a second to see because we were scrutinized as dads. Like to be a single parent dad, you were 100% scrutinized. And so the light was really shined on the fact that single parent dad households actually turn out better children than single parent mom households. And we really haven't had a moment in history to get that contrast. So it almost destroys that myth of female parental nature that would some way be an automatic positive by the sheer gender dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, there is one thing. I mean, feminism did open up a lot of questions about our identities that were otherwise hidden in these sort of traditional structures. But that's not really like, breaking the vase so that you can, I don't know, see the secret message on the inside. I mean, it's probably something that had to happen, but I don't think that the amount of grift and lying and destruction, it's hard to say.
Well, the magnitude of destruction on the reflection, like 100 years from now, when we reflect on this, the magnitude of destruction will be such a holding fort against moving back to those ideologies that I think it might do us some good for at least a few 100 years.
Couldn't you liken it to opening Pandora's box?
Yeah.
Definitely, because what it tore down were these superstructures that were underlying all of the Western democracies. The concepts of democracy have a lot of assumptions in them of how the people interact and how the people operate in the world. The rational man, and the superstructures that are supposed to be there, the identities that people have, and the caring about your community and whatnot. That it's all assumed. Without those torn apart, it's part of the failure that we're seeing is there's nothing to redrive those things without that inherent structure there.
Yep.
I just gave Botch TV permission to speak, so go ahead, Brian.
I wanted to ask you guys, actually, what was like, now that we're towards the end of the year, pretty much there already. What was like one of your favorite like things to cover in terms of maintaining frame? Like, what was one of the most outlandish ones? I mean, you guys cover some pretty outlandish takes from, Rainbow Kiwi and Drama Queen and all these other weird people that have all these just outlandish takes on men and life and stuff. So, what was one
Most
of the ones?
outlandish. Honestly, it would be the recent UK initiative, and it's not really outlandish. It's
Oh,
just
everything to do
so
with adolescence.
socially irresponsible. Like,
Yeah.
what you guys probably, well, I don't know if anybody went to our actual in-person event in Calgary this year, but unfortunately, I had Prim. You guys know Prim. Many of you may not. She's actually a men's issues sympathetic therapist who works with the Canadian Centre for Men and Families, and we had her and a Monique, who is the head of the parental alienation organization in Canada. So she's fighting to get parental alienation recognized as a legal harm or a harm, and had them both watch Adolescence. And it didn't occur to me at the time, but Monique was severely triggered by it in a legitimate way because she has an issue with the sexual exploitation of children, which or that kind of institutional plus over sexualization of children as potential as something harmful. And she unfortunately she really struggled with adolescence, and those scenes with the therapist abusing the boy, and of course it's supposedly all justified because he is a murderer, right? And yet what we're depicting is institutional abuse of a boy, and it has a very sexualized connotation in the story. So it's a situation where an adult is overexposing a child to sexual content and sexual innuendo and sexual questioning, plus abusing her authority, plus being emotionally abusive and manipulative, and the presentation of the boy as an adult threat is really to justify all of the abuses being heaped on him is disturbing, to say the least. And unfortunately, like I said, Monique was having trouble with that. And I
Yeah.
feel bad because I exposed her to it, not realizing I should have realized that. But yeah, that whole sequence, Adolescence, is profoundly institutionally irresponsible. And on a therapeutic level, it is horrific to see something like that. On a level where you actually recognize that children deserve protection by adults, yeah, that's just grotesque. And it's basically institutionalizing a form of aggressive, smothering, sexualized oversight over boys. And what they're doing in the UK is they're formalizing it. They're turning it into policy. And that's just, it's sickening. And it's such an insane thing. And the other thing is that there's a whole bunch of parents of girls in the UK that are for this. I think the UK really has a problem with gynocentrism, but regardless, the thing is that the interventions that these bureaucrats are advancing have no basis. Like they don't do anything. In fact, they probably do worse. Like if you didn't do them, girls would probably be more protected. Boys would be less likely to engage in antisocial violence against girls if you didn't do them, if you just let the boys alone. So these programs are not just not doing anything to solve the problem, probably making it worse. And these bureaucrats are pushing it because they're make work jobs. So these UK parents are applauding throwing money down a drain for interventions that will probably make the problem worse, not better, if it does anything at all. So even on the level of, do you care about you don't give a crap about your sons, do you care about your money? Because it's being flushed down the toilet. And that was probably the most outrageous thing this year. Do you have anything, Brian?
I think you got, well, my answer was going to be everything to do with the adolescence thing. The only thing I would add to it, it wasn't just that the show itself was, I don't know if, the show itself was awful, and the what was putting out there was awful, and it was put out there by a guy who clearly had some kind of like unresolved trauma that he wants to blame on men everywhere instead of addressing it personally. And it's causing governments all over the West to like start programs specifically to address this issue, which doesn't exist, and it's going to end up attacking, people who are obviously
boys.
Like innocent. Yeah, boys. Yeah, like innocent boys. So I'm even more concerned about what. Okay, I just gave permission to Sun Archer to talk. I'm more concerned about what this is going to mean legislatively. And the other thing too is that people who want to be abusive are going to be abusive. Like you're not going to be able to teach them not to be. That's just not how it works. And it was never that way. So the only people you're going to punish are innocent people who had never had any intention of harming anyone. And it's going to cost a lot of taxpayer dollars, which is going to come out of the pockets of men. So like it's just like that's probably the most ridiculous thing that I think, and I guess most infuriating, because it's actually going to and the one thing about the show that really pisses me off, okay, is that the actual, if you guys have heard of the show, it's called Adolescence, and it's supposedly like how, rape culture is created through social media, and it all goes back to these like manosphere influencers like Andrew Tate, which is who they use as their stand-in. Like if Andrew Tate died tomorrow of a heart attack, they just replace him with some other guy that's vocal and has an opinion online. So it doesn't matter who it is. So like if you have a problem with Andrew Tate, I would say stow it, because it's irrelevant, because it's not about that. It's about stopping sensible people like us who are trying to talk about this stuff from like an actual productive perspective. But because our position criticizes the status quo, which is their position, which is the feminist position, which is the default position for every country, then they have to go after the straw man, whatever it is, and then use that as the pretense to essentially like, go after boys and try to like re-educate them and weaken them and hobble them, and which they're already doing in a number of other ways, with the way that they've torn the family down and everything. And then the framework of the show, this is what I was trying to get at before it pisses me off. The framework of the show is literally taking the ideal situation, which is a boy growing up in a house with a mother and a father that love him, and they're making that the problem. So the way that they conclude is it's the father that is the problem in the series, which is literally the opposite of reality. Like if you want a dysfunctional child, then take the father out of the home, and that's what you get. But they don't want that to be the reality because they like the idea that there's an entire population of young men and girls who don't know who their father is and are therefore become dependent on the state so that the state becomes more powerful. And that's what they want to push. That's the narrative, right? So that's the other thing about adolescence is that it is based on a lie. It is pathologizes and criminalizes normal boyness. It criminalizes fatherhood, and then they use these lies and this misrepresentation to write and create legislation in various governments everywhere. Like Australia is starting to change things to address, and I'm sure that they already had programs for this shit, but they're going to try to tackle violence against girls in school. And of course they can't look at what might actually be causing any issues, but instead, no, let's not do that. Let's just blame men. Let's just blame men whole cloth because no one's going to take an issue with that. You can't get upset about it. You can't call it an ism or a phobia because it's just men, right? Fuck those guys. They did this. And so you can just pass new laws everywhere. And they've done it. The UK, in Europe, in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, I mean, hell, the United States has it in a soft way, and the only reason why they haven't gone as hard is because we have the First Amendment. But even then, it doesn't really matter. If you go to schools as a boy, you're going into hostile territory. So maybe Botch TV wanted something a little bit more humorous, but you asked us for the most ridiculous thing, so that's my answer.
Nah, you guys definitely answered it. I guess the reason why I asked it is because some of the stuff, especially the stuff that Allison has to deal with, being on Twitter and
Yeah,
arguing with God knows what, it just mind boggles me that people can take an entire population, whether it's men or women, and take it and like label it as bad entirely,
yeah,
and I remember there was one person in the special chat that was trolling you um when you were talking about, I think it was,
tangled
I don't
hierarchy.
remember. Yeah, and the person was like, "Oh, well, the only people that are worried about being Me Too'd are people that are actually going to commit crimes and going to do
Yeah,
those things." And I'm like, "Well, technically, those people that were going to commit crimes were going to do it anyway. You're not going to teach them not to because they're going to do whatever the hell they want." Stuff like that only hurts, people who have no evil intentions.
right.
So it's I love it how they kind of resort to that argument. Oh, well, are you a person that likes to hurt women, or you like?
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like,
Like, why
"Mm,
aren't you? I'm going after bad guys. Aren't you going after bad guys? Oh, you must be for the bad guys because I go after bad guys. I am adult. I go after bad people. You are not going against bad people. You must go after good people. You must go after the good people. These people are
mm,
fucking morons. But look,
yeah."
Carl and the rooster has their
The
hands
only
up.
way it works,
Okay, go ahead.
the only way it works is if you don't acknowledge that women are capable of using these powers for bad intent.
Yes.
Like literally that's the only way. So what they're really saying is you are questioning my deification of women and my refusal to see that they are human beings and human beings have evil intent. So, they have the same amount of evil intent as men, which is why I always share the studies that I share, which
Yeah.
is that millennial women use weapons 2 to 3 times more often than any other generation, or millennial men, to force sex, shall we say. Like that's astounding.
Yep.
But
Okay.
regardless, that pushes at this whole idea of the deification of women as saints or morally blameless. And so
Mm-hmm.
when somebody says you can't, we have to just, we can't when you question Me Too, or you question giving even more powers to remove due process for men accused of rape and sexual assault, when you question those things, they can't acknowledge that these are powers that could be used in bad ways, that you're granting people who are potentially rapists, false accusers, people who will use false accusations for political reasons or revenge, that you're handing them a weapon because in order to do so, you would have to recognize that women will use things as weapons. And of course they can't do it, so they default onto you just want to defend yourself because you are a bad man.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Okay, so Be Real had requested to speak, so I'm gonna let him talk, and then I'm gonna let Carl and the Rooster talk. So go ahead and Be Real. Is your microphone working?
I'm gonna have to get going here because I got a few things I need to do before.
Yeah, we got to
I
wrap
take
it up
off.
soon. I'd like to
Yep.
get back to my life, but I'm gonna let you guys have your say. So Be Real. Can you talk?
Can I talk? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Great. Have you guys heard about the Green Party in England has introduced a law that if you argue or talk down or mansplain to the other gender, that you might be prosecuted or be
Yes,
fired
I
from your
covered
job?
it. I covered it. It was a Green Party internal policy that they had. We covered on the news show like 2 weeks ago, where if you disagreed with a woman, you could like lose your position within the party. Like it's sort of like getting fired or kicked out. Yes,
Or something.
you couldn't you literally couldn't disagree with a woman. That's the rule.
Oh, before
if the Green Party could make it a law, they probably would.
Oh, well, I had a conversation with Grok, right? You guys know the AI Grok. And I
Yes.
asked Grok if it's possible if that can come out of the inside party and be voted on to go through system wide. And it said it is possible with a couple of votes and a couple passed motions.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And especially when it comes to the UK and that new law teaching boys about misogyny.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just adding on top of the what can boys do nowadays? Like what can men do at
What
all?
can
Like
men do
you can't
against
approach,
such
can't talk,
reckless
can't speak,
hate?
can't see, can't look. It's just the
Yep.
list goes on. Like, is there any communication that a boy or a man is able to or trying to do that happens to do with anything without being accused of anything?
no.
Yep.
Okay, so
Okay, so I'm
can
gonna
we?
let what?
Well, yeah. Let the next person talk.
I'm
But
gonna
I'd like to
let I'm
do a
gonna let
shout
people
out to
get
the
their
artists.
last words out, and then we'll wind it down. Okay, Carl, go ahead. You had your hand up.
It was probably more relevant earlier on, but it kind of speaks to everything. Statistically, we have to concede that as individuals, men and women are both capable of abuse. The stats, the studies, even the things where people have confessed in surveys to things that they've done speak volumes. I always liken it to the fact that if you break your leg or multiple bones in your leg and you go to the doctor doesn't just fix one of those bones because your leg still ain't going to work. He fixes both of them. And when they tried to bring all this legislation in the UK ages and ages ago, when the Istanbul Convention was being read and they were trying to pass that, my expression was, it's VA all or nothing at all. You've got to protect all victims because if you don't protect all victims, you create more victims.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And that actually is pretty much borne out by what the nonsense that they're trying to push in legislation and policy around domestic violence and sexual assault. These interventions don't work. They're just ideological noise. And we actually have interventions now that are showing greater and greater levels of reducing recidivism. So, for example, the ACTV intervention, which shows something like a 50% reduction in recidivism, along the tightest parameter, which is victim reports. And we are not pursuing that. Like, institutionally, we don't have the will to actually protect. And right now, I'm just talking about female victims of domestic violence. Because of feminism, we don't have the institutional will to properly protect female victims of domestic violence. Now, this is not the most astounding thing, like you were talking about, like the one that just floored me, because I think I figured this out in the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard case, which I think was in 22. Was it, or is it 23?
I think it's 2023.
23. So, or something like that. And I realized there was like just this moment where all the pieces came together, and I realized feminists don't care about female victims of anything. They just care about how they can use them to make money.
Yep.
And they're literally sacrificing female victims. They're looking at this information, the ACTV intervention, which is non-feminist, and it works because the non-feminists basically said, okay, well, let's look at all the potential interventions and figure out which one actually works, and then we'll pursue that and we'll refine it. And that's what they did. So it was an iterative, actually empirical process that they followed. And now they have an intervention that works really well. Like 50% reduction in recidivism is an incredible result. And again, no institutional will to pursue this and actually protect female victims of domestic violence, because it would require challenging feminist orthodoxy. So right now, feminism has no claim to moral authority in any capacity, not even along the line of protecting women. So, and again, these interventions are being proposed. Variations on the feminist interventions that have already been shown to fail to produce any significant reduction in recidivism for adult perpetrators are now being proposed to be applied to boys. And they won't work. They're a waste of money, and they'll most likely make things worse if they do anything at all. Like there's two options. They do nothing, they make things worse. That's what you get. And all they benefit is bureaucrats by creating make-work projects that have absolutely no oversight. So they're just going to spend money on consulting and research, and they're not going to do fucking all. They're just going to consume their salaries while producing nothing, because they can't produce anything. They can't produce the results. They were saying something like a 50% reduction in violence against women. Bullshit. Nothing that they're proposing is going to move the needle even one iota in the direction that people want it to move. It's completely fraudulent science. And yet they're going to get, this is what it helps. You get feminist bureaucrats jobs. That's what this entire apparatus is for, is simply to make sure that feminist bureaucrats get jobs. That's it. That's all it does. It's like Yes Minister, or Yes Minister, the hospital that exists only to give hospital administrators jobs because it's never seen a single patient. That's what this entire boondoggle is. And nobody wants to call it out, because what feminism is good at is describing any form of critique of feminism as some kind of moral failing, which is astounding if you think about it, and blaming the victim. So if these interventions don't work, which they won't, feminism will simply blame the next iteration of Andrew Tate that comes around in, like, I don't know, he's getting a bit past his expiry date, so probably 3 years.
Yeah, it's
We'll
gonna
have the
be Nick
next one.
Fuentes next, or somebody else. They're
Yeah,
just gonna they just
probably.
pick a new boogeyman, and it may be a real person, but it doesn't matter. The purpose of it is to basically make it to where people like us can't get anything done. So
Yeah, because we have to constantly answer for people we didn't create, we didn't platform, and we are actively campaigning against the conditions that make them.
yes,
So, I don't know. Well, I got to answer for that? Well, no intention of answering for that, because it's not my monkeys, not my circus.
right.
But anyway, that's
I got
that.
another request to talk, so I'm gonna give it, and
I
then
just wanted to say,
Mhm.
logic and critical thinking are sadly dying, if not dead.
Very, that's very true. They're very rare. Shadow Claw, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you guys a quick question. There's a Republican, some woman who's trying to pass a law that only requires a woman to name a suspected father, so he has to pay for literally everything, including all medical expenses leading up to birth and afterwards. Uh, Men Need to Be Heard did a video on this, and he even posted the number on his screen so people can call over, and he told people not to be angry, but to be calm and explain why this is bad, why it harms men, and create some resistance against this and make sure our voices are heard. And I can't remember the name of the law she's trying to pass, or the woman. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, so I actually saw the video and I like did some little bit of digging, and this is what I learned. So you're talking about Congresswoman Ashley Hinson. Um, It appears that this is a mischaracterization or exaggeration of a legislation introduced by Representative Ashley Hinson, a Republican representative of Iowa. In early December 2025, she introduced the H.R. 6442, titled the Supporting Healthy Pregnancy Act. This bill amends federal child support laws to require biological fathers to pay at least 50% out of pocket medical expenses related to pregnancy and delivery, including health insurance premiums, deductibles, and similar costs. The goal is to provide financial support to pregnant mothers earlier than current laws allow, as child support orders typically begin only after birth in most states. Key points from the bill and Hinson's statements. It explicitly targets biological fathers, not presumed or legal fathers, in cases of disputed paternity, such as paternity fraud scenarios. It's framed as a pro-family and pro-life measure to promote responsible fatherhood, help single mothers with pregnancy costs, and encourage men to be involved from the start. Similar versions of this idea have been part of her broader family support packages in previous years, often co-sponsored with senators like Marco Rubio. There is no evidence in her legislative record or public statements that she has pushed for holding non-biological men responsible for child support or for policies that would force men to pay for children who are not theirs. Her other bills focus on things like expanding child tax credits, including for unborn children, maternal health care, stillbirth prevention, and resources for pregnant students, generally aimed at supporting mothers and families.
Okay,
So
it's still stupid.
it's not perfect, but it doesn't sound like it's as bad as this guy was making it sound.
Yeah, well, the problem is the more protections you give women when they make these mistakes, which incidentally, I keep hearing from the majority of women that sex is horrible and men are bad at it. So why do they need so much access to it? Like seriously, just close your legs. Stop doing something you don't find entertaining in the first place. Go spend that money on I don't know, going to the fair or going to an amusement park. Because obviously, if you're going to complain about sex this much, it's not that important to you. Why do other people have to fund it? And this is the other thing. We need to stop babying women because of their choices. Like, they need to feel the consequences of their shitty choices so that they stop making them. Because this is the problem. This isn't going to help.
Alison, accountability. That's a terribly dirty word.
This isn't going
How
to
dare you,
stop
Allison? How dare
the
you?
problem. Because these women are most likely having children with men who can't even pay these bills. Like they're having children with these pookies who have absolutely no income, or all the income is fucking illegal, and they have how many baby mamas? Like how are
4,
you going?
5.
How are you going to get blood from a stone? And the only way to stop that is not to constantly underwrite it, but let women take it on the fucking chin. You want to have a child with a baby with a psycho fuck who's just making the world worse for everyone else? You pay for it. Why does everybody have to underwrite these shitty and the problem, okay, no offense, the problem with Republicans is they have an absolute infatuation with single mothers. Just like Democrats. They think that making the world better is making the world better for single moms. It isn't. For some
White
reason,
knight
we have
complex.
all of these, we refuse to give single mothers anything but you can go to a nunnery, give birth, and the kid will go up for adoption. There wasn't that many of them. And now we have an absolute explosion. And this is not just a moral issue. This is a logistical issue. We can't afford this. The number of single mothers increases year after year after year. Stop incentivizing them with this kind of bullshit. Because if what you incentivize, you get more of. And what's decreasing is dual parent households who pay for the single moms. And what's decreasing is young men, bachelor men with good jobs who pay for the single moms. So we are imploding based on the priorities, the financial priorities that we have, which are destructive. Stop. Single moms do not deserve your compassion or sympathy. Okay, again, if there is a single mother, okay, who got a commitment from a man who didn't have other baby mamas, there was no establishment of the behavior prior to doing this. If she got commitment from him, married her, said, yes, I want children, and then some time in like year 5, he fucks off for no apparent reason, yeah, she got screwed. She got royally screwed. How many single mothers does that describe? 5%?
Probably
2%?
my mom, and that's it.
Yeah, you can give sympathy to women like that. But
Not
what
my
about
mom. She fucked a married guy.
Ugh. But what about the women? What about the women? Every other single woman, a single mother, who ends up in the situation because of retarded choices that she would have reconsidered if she didn't have a safety net. The safety nets that we give women. And again, this is a logistical thing. Eventually, once the single mother number of single mother is unsustainable because the people that are underwriting them, like our society has literally declared war at stable 2-parent households and the formation of relationships that result in that. Our society has decided it doesn't like that, and we're going to all declare war. So we're basically have declared war on our plow horse. Like we're a farmer that has a plow horse that works its fields, and we're out there in a fucking blind taking pot shots at it. We're declaring, and then for some reason we think the world is going to be so much better once we kill that damn plow horse, right? That's how stupid we are. And this is another manifestation of that stupidity. We are focusing on incentivizing the wrong thing. We're not focusing on incentivizing the thing that maintains our society with a level of, at the level that it is. We're focusing on something that is an indulgence. Believe me, all of that shit's going to go if the U.S. finally destabilizes enough that nobody uses it as the world reserve currency. That's going to be gone instantly. Okay? And so we can only do this because we can afford to do it. And that's becoming more and more difficult as the number of 2-parent households declines, number of married men declines because they're the big plow horses. And then after that, it's single men. You know, as that number gets squeezed and squeezed and squeezed and removed with all of the rhetoric around how the average man is not sufficient for the average woman, okay, our actual tax base and our ability to pay for single mothers declines. And that's why they're bringing in HB1s, H1Bs, because that's the other tax category that adds significantly to the income tax. If the Republicans want to keep powdering the asses of single mothers, eventually you're just going to have to import. You're going to have to import highly skilled immigrants because after married fathers, which you have declared war on and you won't do anything about in a legitimate, significant manner, like I don't see Republicans making this an issue, a central issue. You got to stop declaring war on the men who support your entire society. On a fundamental level, they need to start kicking all of the feminism out. It's not happening. A little bit, not enough. Not to the degree that we do this. And if you don't do that, eventually you will have to concede on immigration. Because the only way to pay for the single mothers that both parties are fucking in love with is H1Bs. If you are destroying your actual productive engine, which is married men. Okay, that's my rant.
I'd like to take just a quick moment to tell you about what happened because of the choices of my single mother. She chose to get banged by a man having marital issues. Then she chose to eliminate him out of my life. Then she became so overwhelmed, she held a knife to her chest and threatened to kill herself if I didn't behave. Then chose a narcissistic asshole as my stepfather, who systematically tortured me for the rest of my life.
I'm sorry to hear it.
That's a consequence of these single mothers.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. And the one argument that you always get is, well, stop having men turn women into single moms. And it's like, well, don't you have agency over your own body? Can't you say, no, I'm not gonna have sex with this dude that has no income, no nothing, no anything? Like, but of course that would mean taking accountability for your own choices. I mean, it's takes two to have sex, so don't have sex with somebody who's a bum. So
how are men who are responsible supposed to make men who are irresponsible but highly attractive to women? How are they supposed to stop that? Like the men who do
you
this,
can't
you can't. There's no mechanism.
you can't.
There's no mechanism to stop it. The
You
only
can't. I
mechanism.
mean, it's just you just have to make, you as the woman and you as the man, both of y'all have to make better choices on who you end up getting into bed with. That's it.
It's a category error because they're basically saying, well, why can't men? It's like, no, men as a group can't have. They have no ability unless you're saying that they should be able to stop women from having sex with men they find attractive but are bums, right? They have no ability to prevent this. So they're saying that somehow men as a group bear responsibility for the decision of Pookie and his baby mamas. Like, no.
I don't have the control of other men. I have the control of what I do with my what's in my pants, and that's
the
it.
responsible, conscientious men aren't the ones going out and getting all of these women pregnant. Right?
Have 3 or 4 different baby mamas and child support and all this other crap and benefits and all this other stuff.
But this has to be, you have to acknowledge the fact that women are capable of doing bad. Okay, Brian, did you want to add anything?
Nope.
I did want, I know I went after the Republicans.
I don't care. That's fine. Whatever.
No, go after him, please.
That both parties are doing things that are probably not good, so it doesn't matter what party it is.
Yeah.
They're all in the same boat and they're all doing the exact same thing.
Well,
Same
Allison made
agenda.
a really good point. She pointed out the fact that the left is supposed to be, there's supposed to be a balance going on, but now the left is so radicalized and tribalized that there's no balance anymore, and both sides have lost their way. That's the way I see it.
Well, talking of political parties, I've tried to get everybody to realise that Labour in the United Kingdom is no longer called Labour. It's now Libor. Eliebbour.
I feel sorry what's going on in UK there. That's just messed up.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
so we're gonna wrap it up then, because this is like 2 hours.
I do want to do a shout out to.
Yep. Go ahead. Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to at Crafty Ringtail. Could you put up the artwork that at Crafty Ringtail did for this?
Yeah.
Christmas?
Hang on a second. Let me find
So
it.
His
I downloaded
handle
it.
is at Crafty Ringtail
Mm-hmm.
on Twitter. So on X. So if you're interested, that's where you would find him. See if it's up yet.
Yeah, I just need to oh shit. That's not gonna work. Let me see. I can do this another way. I'm gonna put it, I will share it in X and show it. So give me a second here.
Okay.
La 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 la. Where is it?
Do you guys still talk to your single mothers?
I live with my mom, so I have no choice.
Oh.
I talk to my mom every day.
But I will admit, like, you know, ever since well, my father's been dead for 20 some years, so you know, it's ever since then we have a close relationship, but I wouldn't say that I turned out horribly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean she's the exception of, I mean, you know, she's definitely had her fair share of, you know, not so good relationships, but I would say that I've turned out to be where I'm not making the same mistakes that she
Okay,
was
I'm
making.
sharing it
So,
now.
Okay.
I'm sharing it in Discord and then like capturing it and on OBS.
You know, that came dangerously close to happening to me. This girl I went on a date with tried to convince me really manipulatively to have sex with her and get her knocked up, and I said no. I'm
good
not
on
going to
you,
sleep
brother.
with you. I'm not in a relationship with you. I do not love you. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. Good for you.
Good on you, brother. I mean, I've only dated once, and I was probably 14, 15, and I'm about to be 27 in like 2 weeks. So I'm good, brother. I'm good. The only time I would ever consider it is if it's actually long term and like what a relationship should be. You know, a long term marriage, with, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
I
nothing
set some
else.
boundaries. I said if you want to have a little bit of fun, that's more safe. That's fine, but I'm not going to go all the way with you. Hell no.
Nope.
Exactly.
Nope. Because then that's how you get trapped. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yep. All right. So I want to do a big thank you to @Crafty Ringtail, who did the artwork for Christmas. So thank you. And if you're interested in his art, you can find it at @Crafty Ringtail. And thank you, Brian, for sharing it.
Sure.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I have to go walk the dog before we do the Christmas event for the family. So I'm going to thank you for joining. If you want to send us a message, you can do so at feedthebadger.com/justthetip. I know it's really quiet right now, but I guess it's because everybody's off doing Christmassy things. Okay, so I'll hand it back to you, Brian.
All right. Well,
Are your
thanks,
pets
guys.
getting Christmas treats?
Sorry?
Thank you.
Are your
I
pets getting
appreciate it.
Christmas treats?
They aren't getting kicked out.
Void
No.
cat.
Oh, Void Cat just wants kibble, so we'll give her some extra kibble. And I'm sure the dog just wants to not have the muzzle on to stop him from licking his foot. I mean, I did get something, but it's like a
Well, I know they hate those stupid cone things on their faces,
yeah.
so probably the
Yeah.
muzzle's easier than having the stupid cone thing.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, at least it's easier for him to sleep and relax in a more comfortable position. Well, I did get like a kick sled thing so that I could actually take him out, because the snow here is so deep. But other than that, I don't know. Being able to destroy the Christmas tree is the cat's present. All right.
All right, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Thanks for coming on the show. If you guys like this video, please hit like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, hit the bell for notifications, leave us a comment, let us know what you guys think about what we talked about in the show today, and please share this video because sharing is caring. Thank you guys so much for coming on this episode of I guess it's like the Christmas special X Space hangout, and we'll talk to you guys in the next one.
Men's rights activists are machines, dude. Okay? They are literal machines. They are talking point machines. They are impossible to fucking deal with, especially if you have like a couple dudes who have good memory on top of that too. Holy shit, you're fucked.